Good afternoon, everyone. So I want to welcome you all to today's webinar, NiUG, What's in It for Me? My name is Dee Dee Brooks, and I am the iMIS Administrator for the American Association of Airport Executives. And I have been using iMIS for almost 20 years. And I've been an iMIS, a NiUG member, I think, for about 8 years. However, airport executives just migrated to iMIS back in September, and they also joined NiUG back in September. And I have been here since August, so they started with me, iMIS and NiUG all around the same time. So today, we're going to begin with a brief overview of NiUG, and then we're going to move to our panel of iMIS users and members to learn why they value their NiUG membership, and then we'll open it up for questions. So a few administrative notes I want to share with you is that first, we really want this to be a discussion, and so we encourage you to ask any and all questions in the chat pane, and we'll be keeping track of these for the Q&A session towards the end. And then the second thing is we're recording this webinar, and so if you've missed something, want to re-listen to something after the webinar takes place either later this afternoon or Monday, we'll be sending out the link so that you can access the recording. And so first off, I'm going to introduce the panel of iMIS users. First up is going to be Tanessa Bush, and she is a Member Programs and Services Coordinator at Texo, and also the newest NiUG member on the panel. Tanessa, can you share with us how long you've been a member? I've been
a member and with using iMIS for about 2 years now.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Andy Weaver, and he's the IT manager at the Land Trust Alliance, and also volunteers with NiUG, with the NiUG Program Committee. Andy, how long have you been using iMIS?
First of all, hello everyone out there who's joining us. I've been with the Land Trust Alliance for a good number of years now, and we started using iMIS back in about spring of the year 2000, so we've been using it for quite a while.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Andy. Jody O'Toole, one of our panelists, is an IT director at Pi Beta Phi Fraternity and recently presented at the 2016 NiUG Chicago Conference. Jody, tell us how long you've been using iMIS.
Hi, everybody. So I've been an iMIS cheerleader for over 8 years now.
Great, great. And Stephanie, our fourth panelist, is a director of Member Support and Electronic Channels for EPCOR and NiUG member since 2006. Stephanie, how long have you been using iMIS?
Hi, I've been using iMIS for over 8 years now.
Okay. So our fifth and final panel member is Michelle Morgan, and she is the Executive Director of NiUG International. And Michelle, why don't you share with us your experience with iMIS?
I just wanted to say hi to everyone else that's listening. We appreciate your time. I've been using iMIS for 21 years. I started as a user of the product for the first 11 years of my career, and then I came into NiUG as the executive director after that. So I'm really happy to continue to be part of this NiUG family.
Great, great. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I want to just thank our panelists for taking time to participate in this webinar. So first, I want to start with Michelle as the Executive Director, and just ask if you can give us a brief overview of NiUG.
I'd be happy to. Thanks, Dee Dee. NiUG is the largest independent not-for-profit iMIS users group. We started in 1996 with a handful of iMIS users that wanted to try and change the direction of the product and have the product enhancements performed to the product. So they decided to start the organization. And our mission is to provide a forum to advocate for, educate, and connect iMIS users and vendors within the iMIS community. We work hard to create an environment enabling our members to save time, stress, and money. And we hope to help all of you on the webinar today see the value of membership with NiUG.
So Michelle, how many iMIS users are currently members of NiUG?
Currently, Dee Dee, we have 545 member organizations. Those are companies using the iMIS product. And we have about 50 associate and vendor members. Our associate and vendor members are solution providers that provide support for the product, as well as our vendor members who have products that enhance a user experience for iMIS. And in total, we represent about 3,600 iMIS users.
All right, that's great. So how can the audience learn what resources are available to NiUG members?
I would say the quickest way, which would be at their fingertips, would be to go to the NiUG website, which is niug.org. If they click on the Resources tab, that Resource tab shows several of the benefits available to our members, and they can learn more about each one of those benefits, as well as checking out the events page and seeing what we have coming up in the way of training. And that would be probably the best way, as well as if anyone's interested, they can certainly pick up the phone and we'll be happy to chat with them or give them a walkthrough of the website.
Okay, thanks so much for this information. So again, if someone just wants to get more information about NiUG's history, their membership, benefits, resources, you can just go to the website at www.niug.org, or if you want to, you can contact them directly by phone. So I want to go ahead and let's move on to the panel discussion. And so again, if you have any questions as we go along, type them in the chat box and someone will be keeping track of that for the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So first off, I want to start with Tanessa as the newest member on the panel. How do you think a new iMIS user can benefit from a NiUG membership?
So a little background about my journey into iMIS. Prior to 2 years ago, I had never heard of it, didn't have any clue what it was at all, and so our organization had iMIS for about 15 years or so, and we just weren't really using it very well. And so we knew that we needed to do something with it. So we had set up a meeting with a solution provider, and the Discovery Users Conference was coming up, and I had just gotten a random email about it, and I happened to ask them, hey, is this worthwhile? And it was, I think, the next week. And so they said, absolutely, you're brand new to it, you'll learn so much. And so from that point on, NiUG has really become my go-to to learn about iMIS, to interact with other people about this product and about what they're doing with it. The conferences, the users conference, I've gone for the past 2 years, and I've always brought home more knowledge and ideas and solutions that I can share with my team here that completely far outweighs the cost of membership in NiUG, and even the cost of the conference itself is just, it's so valuable and has been so beneficial to me just as a brand new iMIS user. and manager of this product for my association. So I'm the only person that really manages any of our technology solutions. So NiUG has become a place for me to connect with other people that do what I do. It's kind of a lonely place, sort of, when you're the only person in your organization that does that. And so to be able to connect with other people that has staff that ask the same questions of me that they're asked, and who get asked questions from your CEOs, to make sure that we're utilizing iMIS to the investment that we've made in iMIS. Just talking to those people, connecting with those people. NiUG is just full of people that love to help each other solve problems, and so that's really what the benefit that I've really found in the last 2 years of being a brand new iMIS user and a brand new NiUG member.
Okay, great. And would you say that it's had the NiUG membership had any impact on your own career?
Oh, of course. I mean, being brought on, I never used iMIS. I just kind of have a natural knack for thinking in a more database management style system. And so being brand new to iMIS and coming into that role straight off the bat, NiUG has really just given me those tools to be able to do that, both technically and strategically, to be able to administer this the product. So, the first users conference I went to, I didn't know half of what they were talking about. I didn't know any of the terminology. I was like, what's an IQA again? What is this? And so, fast forward to my second conference, coming up on about a year ago, I knew what they were talking about. I was able to participate and contribute to some of those discussions. And so it has certainly helped me be at the level that I am currently at with iMIS. Obviously not an expert at all, but I'm able to be successful in my job, in my career, and moving forward because of the things that I've learned with iMIS and the people that I've met through it, or I'm sorry, through NiUG.
Great. Thank you for sharing all that with us, Tanessa. And so how about the rest of our panel? I would like to just kind of get some input and some insight from you all. Has NiUG had an impact on your own career?
Hi, Dee Dee. It's Jody. So, yes, I, for one, definitely being a NiUG member has given me career opportunities that I just simply wouldn't have had if I weren't a member. In fact, my current position came to me because I was referred by a fellow NiUG member for it. So it's been huge for me.
Well, this is Andy, and I'll jump in and say that, I clearly wouldn't be good at utilizing iMIS for everything the Land Trust Alliance does without the resources I've gotten from NiUG over the years.
And what are some of the resources you have personally taken advantage of?
Well, definitely the conferences. I try to make it to both the spring and discovery conferences each year. I'm not necessarily always able to, but try. And then, of course, the listserv is a great resource, and the product advisory committee, the PAC.
Okay, great. And Michelle, since Andy mentioned about the PAC, can you explain to the audience what the PAC is and what it does?
All right, I'd be happy to. The PAC is our Product Advisory Committee, and they have a great relationship with ASI, Advanced Solutions International, the developers of the product. So throughout the year, the PAC meets, and there are key individuals from the development department at ASI that are also on the PAC. And we bring to them different requests for enhancements and changes to the product to try and have those items worked into the iMIS product for change for our users.
Okay, thanks a lot, Michelle. So Stephanie, I'd like to just hear from you. How have you taken advantage of the NiUG's resources?
Well, of course, the listserv, which I think has been mentioned, and also I try to attend the Discovery Conference every fall. And also recently we just used the Career Center on NiUG's website for posting an open position in my organization.
Okay, great, great. That's good to hear. So Michelle, the listserv is often called the single best member benefit. Can you give us some information about what the listserv is and how it works?
Sure. The listserv is a members-only discussion group. It's available to all NiUG members, all iMIS users, and it's also available to our solution providers that are authorized consultants for providing assistance to iMIS users with the product. And our members are able to go in and post questions that they may have with iMIS, or it could even be an association question in general, or a fraternity group may have questions, and they'll post those questions to the listserv, and almost immediately, 24/7 typically, you'll receive answers to those questions, and it has saved our users several hundreds of dollars in some cases per year, and more than making up for the cost of the membership that they sign up for.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that information. So just another question for our panel of iMIS users. You know, ASI has a help site, an iMIS help site, and it's free to iMIS users. They can log in and have access to it. And so my question is, how does the NiUG listserv differ from what you can find on the iMIS help site?
This is Jody. I can speak to that. So I look at the ASI help site, and their documentation is more of like a textbook. They have some really great resources, some great tutorials, and it's all on, you know, how to use iMIS. They have developer level resources, you know, a class of known issues on their site and everything. The listserv is different because on there we talk about real life questions and concerns. People get answers that are instantly implemented, solve real life problems from people doing the exact same job I'm doing here. So it's huge for us.
Jody, this is Tanessa. I completely agree. The ASI help site, in my experience, is very generically helpful. But I feel like there are so many variables to each organization and how they use iMIS and how they have it configured and how, you know, just different customizations. The help site is very generic, and I honestly don't think it could be anything but. But the listserv is really just a collection of people that really want to help other people figure out something that they've probably had a problem with before that they figured out a solution to, and so they just want to share that to really the community as a whole.
Yeah, great. That is very useful information, and I'm sure our attendees and listeners, it's helpful to them. So just continuing on, just to get more information, all of you have attended a NiUG conference, either the Spring Conference or the Discovery Conference, and just from your experience, how are the NiUG conferences different from other iMIS educational events you've attended?
Hi, Dee Dee. I'll be happy to answer that. This is Stephanie. I think the NiUG conference allows you to be able to network with other iMIS users and get to know those folks. So if down the line you have questions, you can reach out to them for help. And I've also found that the conference, I can at least learn one new thing when I attend from year to year that I didn't already know. And it's also a great place just to learn about where iMIS is going in the future.
And this is Andy, I'll jump in. I like the variety because instead of just an educational event where there's one course or one topic, there's a variety of workshops and, you know, half-day or whole-day seminars to choose from at the NiUG conferences. And so you're not stuck with just one topic, and it also therefore is able to cover that range from an intro to iMIS financials for someone who's brand new to iMIS up to a session on advanced IQAs and whatnot.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie and Andy, for that information. So we've been hearing like all the different benefits that NiUG has to offer, and the different resources and the training. And so NiUG promotes the fact that membership helps save time, money, and stress. And so I would like to now just get some more information about any examples of how NiUG has helped you in these areas.
Hi, it's Jody again. So the picture on the screen right now reminds me of myself before I reach out to my friends in the community, because I will be beating my head against a wall. I'll ask the listserv a question. It could be 3 a.m., 3 p.m. on a Friday. I've done it many times. And then if someone's able to answer it, then I don't have to pay my authorized iMIS solution provider for that same help. And it seems like my questions always get answered by someone.
Hi, this is Stephanie. I'll add that I think our NiUG membership has really helped us with preparing for our upgrade to iMIS 20.
Okay, and Stephanie, can you give us a little more information on how it's helped you?
Sure. I just think as we were preparing for our upgrade, I was able to gain some information about what to expect with iMIS 20 while I attended the NiUG conference, and as well as just getting information on listserv.
Yeah, and I agree. There's definitely a lot when you go to the conference. You get a lot of that kind of insight into preparing and planning and whatnot. And there's a lot of other benefits because you're there with so many other people, and just like Jody was mentioning, how the listserv can help resolve some of those problems. I have this classic story that I always like to share with people, that I was at one of the iMIS conferences, and sorry, I'm getting a little feedback. Hopefully that's not interrupting anyone. And was sitting next to Sarah Hodnott, who's an employee of ASI, and pointed out that I was actually logged onto my laptop to my installation of iMIS, and pointed out that something wasn't looking like what was on the screen of the workshop presenter. And she literally took my laptop away from me, logged in, made a change, and got it fixed right then and there. And that's, essentially covered the cost of attending the conference just for that one little piece.
Wow, that's wonderful, just having someone from ASI to just stop and help you just in the middle of the conference. And, yeah, that's been my same experience there. They're always willing to help and provide support, in any way that they can. So thanks, Stephanie and Andy, for your insight. So one of the things that I've noticed is that, some people, think that NiUG membership, or attendance at the conferences are, either for new people or new iMIS users, or, just people that are just getting started. And so I want to just get some feedback from each of you on how can an iMIS user, whether they are new or experienced, benefit from a NiUG membership?
Hi, Dee Dee. This is Stephanie. I think definitely attending one of the NiUG conferences, whether you're new or experienced, is a great asset, and it just helps with learning new things, finding out what's coming, and also it's a great opportunity to network with other iMIS users. And I think it's also beneficial to get information on products and services that are provided by vendors.
Yeah, and sorry for jumping in, but yeah, NiUG gets you up to speed on all that kind of iMIS specific stuff. There's lots of ways to get trainings on SQL or web stuff, but nowhere else are you going to get anywhere things specific to IQAs or knowing how to link the build to ID to the ship to ID or whatever, all those little technical things.
And this is Jody, so I'm just going to one more time mention the listserv, because I can save enough money just by posing one question on the listserv and getting my answer back through that equals the cost of my membership. So to us, it's a really simple equation.
Okay, great. Thank you all for that information. So Michelle, just kind of to give some more information about NiUG membership, can you give us information about the cost and who's included in the membership?
Sure. Currently, membership is based on the number of iMIS licenses that an organization has. The level could be as low as $190 per year for 1 to 10 user licenses, and it goes up from there based on, it could be if you have over 51 user licenses, it's $630 per year. So it's in between that range. The nice thing about it, Dee Dee, is that a lot of organizations are still learning that the membership is not just an individual membership, it's a company-wide membership. So anyone using the iMIS product has access to all of the benefits of membership. So if you have someone who's in charge of your membership versus someone who's in charge of the website, they all have access to the listserv to post those questions that they may have. And they all have training available to them at the conferences and different ways that we offer up learning opportunities.
Okay, and if someone's interested in joining, what is the quickest or the easiest way for them to do that?
I would say the quickest and super easy way to do it is go on to the NiUG website, and if they click membership, the very first navigational item is join, and it's just basically prompts you through a couple questions and information that we need, and that gets them started.
Okay, great. So that pretty much concludes the questions that we had for our panel. And so thanks so much to our panel of iMIS users, Andy Weaver, Jody O'Toole, Stephanie Moreski, Tanessa Bush, and Michelle Morgan. And we'd like to use the next few minutes to take some time for questions from the audience. And so I'm looking at the first question here, and it says, what is the difference between NiUG and Advanced Solutions International?
This is Michelle. I'd be happy to address that one because it can be confusing. NiUG International is totally independent of ASI, and although we are two separate companies and we have a board of directors that runs the organization and makes the decisions and overall goals and mission for the organization, we, sorry, just lost my train of thought there. We have the ability to work very closely with them and have a very close partnership with them. So it's great that we can be able to sit down with them several times per year and through our PAC, our Product Advisory Committee, in order to see how we can continually find ways to work together and form a stronger relationship with them, partnership with them, so that they will take what we are asking of them from our member base and utilize that information to build and make the product better.
Okay, and I know you mentioned about the PAC committee. Is that something that just NiUG members, is there a way for them to submit maybe either changes or suggestions or recommendations for how they would like, or features they'd like to see included in the iMIS?
Absolutely. We have a single sign-on ability for our members to go into the resource area, and there's a section called iMIS enhancement requests. And we have single sign-on, and we use the idea scale product so that our users can post things that they would like to see changed within the product. And then our other members then can go in there, see what other people have posted. If it's something that they want, they can vote on it, and it continually increases to be more important and more user-wide, something that everyone starts to see the need for. And that helps us bring more clarity to ASI as to what our users are requesting, and how many are requesting it.
Okay, thank you for that, Michelle. The next question, let's see. What if an organization can't afford to attend a conference? Are there other training options available?
Yes. We have several different opportunities for them besides our 2 conferences per year. Something new that we are embarking on is a train in a day program, and that will be different topics throughout the United States. It's a one-day class that's going to be offered on various topics. In addition to that, we also have a learning management system where they can log in to the learning management system and purchase past conference sessions that have been synced up with audio and visual so that they can follow along with presentations that we've given in the past at our conferences. And those start for as little as, I believe it's $19.99. And depending on whether or not it's a half-day or a full-day class, it can go up there. So that ability is there for them as well. And then we're also looking at implementing more webinars for our member base as well, hopefully before the end of this year.
This is Andy, and I'll interject. While those videos that Michelle mentioned are great for people who weren't able to attend, they're also available for people who were at the conference. So they're a great resource to go back and, like my coworker, Lisa, who was able to attend the Chicago conference this past spring, was working on implementing something that she had learned at the half-day, or was it the half-day session, and was making progress but got stuck at one point. And the fact that she was able to go back to those videos and watch that she was able to pick up on that one area where she got stuck and then proceed and move forward. So it's a helpful resource even if you're attending.
Okay, great. And if I remember correctly, if they've attended the session and there were handouts for the different sessions, that they're also available online to download. So if it was a step-by-step training class outlining how to, to use a certain feature, that information is available for download. Am I correct?
Yes, it is, Dee Dee. One thing I wanted to add with regard to the learning system is that those are complementary to the attendees, in case if that was unclear. If someone registers for our conferences, they have access to the entire conference, which is the second and third day of our breakouts and general sessions. That's complimentary, all of them, because they have to pick to go to those, which ones they want to go to. But then they also can have access to the class that they paid for, but still have the ability to purchase additional classes. With regard to the PDFs of the presentations, those are online prior to the conference, and then we keep those available to our members as well for download on our website.
Okay, great. Thank you all for this information. And so I'm going to move to the next question. Let's see, how much are the NiUG conferences and where are they typically held?
Michelle, I'll dive into that one. Typically, the cost of our conferences for members, we have a pre-conference training day, which is always on our first day. It's a 3-day conference. So it's a pre-conference training day on the first day, and that ranges from early bird being, I believe it's $310 for this upcoming Discovery Conference, up to whatever the late fee is. So you always want to try and get that early bird rate to save your organization money. But then the Tuesday, Wednesday sessions are considered our users conference portion of the event, and that is available 2 days packed with breakout sessions and general sessions, and the cost for that is $545 for those 2 days. So they have the option of going to all three, or they have the option of going to just the sections that they want to go to. And as far as location, the upcoming conference in September, the 26th through the 28th, is in Baltimore. And then we're looking at going to New Orleans in the springtime for our next conference, and that's typically the March-April time frame. And then for our Discovery Conference next year, that one's always on the East Coast, the Discovery Conference, and that one next year is in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay, thank you so much for this information. So my very last question that I see here is, I'm the only one that might attend a conference. Does NiUG offer anything to those attending for the first time or to meet new people?
Oh, Dee Dee, it's Jody. I can answer that one. Obviously, I'm a little bit outgoing, so although we encourage multiple attendees from each organization attending so that multiple staff are more aware of the capabilities of iMIS, have absolutely no fear. We make sure there are many networking opportunities. So we have networking events. Some are even off-site. We have speed networking events. We even have a mentor program that pairs a new attendee with a seasoned attendee to show them the ropes, be there to introduce them to all things iMIS. So anything from a question about terminology, introductions to other iMIS users, or just simply being a meal buddy. So we're there to get the new attendees excited and engaged with the community.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jody. So this was my last question. Before we close, are there any other questions that our participants want to ask? Going once, going twice. Okay. Awesome. I want to thank everyone on behalf of the panel, Andy, Jody, Stephanie, Tanessa, Michelle, and myself. Thank you all for joining us today for the webinar. We hope you enjoyed the discussion as much as we did, and thanks for those who posted questions.